Tyler here with projectsinmetal.com. I wanted to take a few minutes to review a tool that I've been using for several months now called the Diamond Tool Holder from Eccentric Engineering, which is an outfit out of Australia. And I've been using this tool for several months now on all of my turning projects, and I've been actually really impressed with the quality of finish that this tool can produce. I actually get a better finish with this tool than I do when using a properly ground high-speed steel tool bit. Now, I'm sure some of you skeptics out there are laughing to yourselves and saying, well, he obviously doesn't know how to properly grind a high-speed steel tool bit, because if he did, he'd be getting great results. And the truth is, I do know how to grind high-speed steel tool bits. It took a fair amount of practice to get everything figured out. But I understand the different relief angles and rake angles that are needed for different materials, and my high-speed steel bits that I grind do just fine for the work I produce. But the Diamond Tool Holder actually produces a better finish, and it's so much easier to grind than trying to grind your own high-speed steel tool bits by hand. Now, my only fear with sharing this tool with you guys as beginners is that you may not put in the effort that you should to learn how to actually grind your own tool bits. Because the fact of the matter is, you do need to learn how to grind your own bits, and you need to understand the different geometries necessary for different materials. But the nice thing about this particular tool is, for probably 90% or more of the turning that you'll be doing as an amateur machinist, it's going to work perfectly for you. And it's a simple one-step regrind to sharpen this tool bit. And for all your other more complex turning needs, you'll be able to grind your own bits as needed. But like I said, for the majority of the work that the beginner is going to do in his shop on his lathe, this tool is going to work perfectly for you. So let me take a second to explain what makes this Diamond Tool Holder unique. First of all, you guys may have already heard of this type of tool holder by another name, which is a tangential tool holder. And you may remember from geometry that a tangent is a line that only touches a circle in one point. And so if you were to draw a line along the edge of the tool bit in the tangential tool holder, you'll see that it only touches the line of the circle in one point and actually doesn't intersect the circle. Whereas if you look at the conventional tool angle and you drew a line along the tool, you'd see that the line actually enters the circle at two different points. And so that's why these tools are called tangential tool holders, because of the way that they make contact with the part being turned in the lathe. Now, why is this important, you might ask? Well, you can see in the photo here that the overhang in a conventional tool is a lot more than the overhang in the tangential tool. And so that contributes a lot to rigidity. In fact, when I'm using my tangential tool holder, I can actually take just about twice the depth of cut that I can with a conventionally ground tool bit. So if it's a material that I can typically take between 10 and 15 thousandths with a conventional tool, I'm able to take 30 and sometimes 35 thousandths off with a tangential tool holder without getting chatter. And if I was to try to do that with a conventional tool, it would chatter like crazy. So that's another advantage of this particular style of tool holder, is that you can take deeper, more aggressive cuts and still get great finish with little or no chatter. But let's get back to the real reason that this particular tool is such a great option for the amateur machinist, and that is the ease of sharpening. And if you've tried to grind your own high-speed steel tool bits, you know how difficult it can be as a beginner to try and get the angles correct. And the nice thing about this particular tool is it comes with a fixture that you see here in the photo that holds the piece of high-speed steel at the proper angle, which is basically 12 degrees in all directions. And that puts a perfect angle on the cutting edge of the high-speed steel tool bit. And once you've got that angle in place, it's really easy to maintain with a diamond tone. I actually have not needed to regrind my piece of high-speed steel since I got it, and I've been using it for a couple months now on I think 4 different projects. So, you know, this is the real advantage for the beginner, the ability to quickly and easily grind the tool bit to the proper shape and get back to turning. Now in this picture you can see where tangential tool holders get their more common name, which is a diamond tool holder. And that's because the shape of the high-speed steel tool bit after you've ground it is basically the shape of a diamond, with the cutting angle being less than 90 degrees. And that allows you to cut along the length of the part as well as along the inside shoulder in one pass without adjusting the angle of your tool bit. Now this picture shows a good example of how delicate the work you can do with this particular tool. This is a very small piece of brass. I think I'm cutting this down so I can put a 2mm thread on it. And I was able to go, I believe, 10 thousandths at a time without needing to support the work. And so the tool bit was sharp enough to be able to accomplish this with no problem and no chatter. Now, in addition to using a square high-speed steel tool bit, you can use a round bit, and that will enable you to get even better surface finishes on pieces where you don't have to worry about turning up to an inside shoulder. And you can also grind your square high-speed steel tool bits so that they have the proper 55 or 60 degree angle on them so that you can use this tool holder to cut threads. Now, I haven't needed to single point thread anything since I first got this tangential tool holder from Eccentric Engineering, but on Eccentric's website there is a video that shows all the different things that you can do with this tool. It's actually a much better video than this one's probably going to turn out to be, and it does show the threading process, and it looks like it works pretty well. But here you can see some more examples of some stuff I turned. This is a flywheel for a flame eater engine that I'm building, and you can see the finish is just phenomenal that I've been getting with in this case, the round tool bit. And here's some video of me turning 2.5 or maybe 3-inch cast iron and taking a pretty aggressive, probably 30 thousandths cut. And what's really amazing is how the chips are coming off in these long ribbon-shaped chips. Normally when I cut cast iron, I get a bunch of dust when I use a tool bit that I've ground myself. And, you know, for me to get ribbon-shaped chips like this just really shows how sharp this tool is and how well it can cut. Now I could probably adjust my speeds and feeds here a little bit to get the chips a little bit smaller, but it's still just doing a great job in cast iron. Now in this last little bit of video I'm just showing how well the round tool bit works on a brass flywheel that I'm cutting for a flame eater engine that I was building. And you know, usually when I'm cutting brass I get a lot of chatter, and I've got to cut it at a fairly high speed so that I get a nice finish. And I never had those problems using this diamond tool holder from Eccentric Engineering. So really my suggestion would be for you guys to go take a look at Eccentric Engineering's website, watch their video, and see if this tool looks like it might be right for you. I really think that most hobby machinists would really value a tool like this, especially with how easy it is to grind the proper shape, and it just works exceptionally well. I guess the last thing I should mention is the price. These diamond tool holders from Eccentric Engineering range anywhere from $100 to $150 depending on the size of your lathe. And you know, for some of you that might be a significant investment, but I really think that if you can swing it, you'll not regret it. This is a really, really great tool. And thanks for watching. I hope the video was helpful and wasn't too long. And please remember to visit projectsinmetal.com for more information and tips and tricks for the amateur metalworking enthusiast. Thanks.